Welcome back. For those who have subscribed, if you're new here, please subscribe, click the notification bell, share everywhere, including your YouTube community tab. Thumb up the video, comment in the comment section, please and thank you. So this is different screenshots of the birth years in the lighthouse. I don't think there are musical notes. Tabitha did not write her year here if she was going to write a date. So we're going to start with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now you might say, okay, well, that's 11 dates. So Tabitha and Miranda, those are two cycles right there. How do you get 11? The reason why you get 12, even though it's 11 dates up there, is because the first person who Tabitha comes from would have not written her year here because the first person wasn't reincarnated. So it's more than likely that the first person to reincarnate may have remembered who they came from 1506. So you could really say the first person died, second person 1506, and then so on and so forth all the way to present day. That means every version found out and remembered who they come from. This is bad, y'all. That means that everyone's been on the same path as at least Tabitha, maybe even Jade. All of them learn who they come from. All of them learn they're reincarnated. All of them are trying to save the children and they all fail. So you got to wonder what's going to be the difference this time from previous versions. And I think the main factor that is different with this cycle than previous ones would be Boyd. Boyd wanting to go into the forest and explore with Sarah because the voices told Sarah they've waited a long time for someone who could hear them, meaning that it's possible, it's a stretch, it's a yoga stretch, that previous cycles didn't have Sarah who could hear the voices and even hear the boy in white and hear people telepathically. The voices that Sarah's hearing are people who are in town. More on that later on. You didn't have a Sarah. You didn't have a Boyd who wanted to go into the forest with a Sarah. And then you had Sarah have Boyd go into the faraway tree at the direction of the boy in white. Boyd went into the faraway tree and ended up and met Martin. And so with meeting Martin, he got the worms, brought the worms back to town. And so the worms turned into cicadas when Boyd gave the worms to the creature, to Smiley Creature. Cicadas went into Julie. Julie can now story walk. So Julie story walking, Sarah being able to hear voices, and then even the Boyd factor, those things weren't in Jade and Tabitha's cycles. So that might be the reason why their cycle is going to be different than everyone else's who more than likely failed. So at least 12 cycles total, including Tabitha, 11 bracelets in the diner. 12 is pretty much like the magic number. And even, spoiler alert for season 3, that 12 was the number of notes in a musical scale that ended up being what helped crack the code on the numbers in the bottles of the faraway tree to help remember who Jade and Tabitha come from. 12 is like a magic number.
You win.
All right, out in the field, Jim and Jade approach a tree. So looking at the tree from a wide shot, this tree is definitely not a faraway tree because faraway trees are larger to fit people in. And then you see the hole in the middle. So this is a regular tree. Jim doesn't think it's tall enough and they won't have the signal strength. But Jade says it'll just be a test run after Jade rudely says that he built $1 million company. Okay, more of Jade flexing, big me, little you.
Overkill.
Listen here, teacup. Big me, little you, do as you're told. And so Jade says he built a multi-million-dollar company while Jim did safety tests on teacups. Jim is like, you want to talk that craziness? You want to talk that talk? Guess what? I'm out of here. Not talking down to me. I fed my family with that teacup job. So Jade runs over to him and admits he is not great at talking to people. We know. But needs Jim's help. The antenna needs to go up high, but he can't climb the tree because of his vertigo. Jade begs Jim to try to see if the radio will work. Oh, so now you need Jim. Okay, you was talking that yin yang, and then all of a sudden now you need Jim. At the clinic, Boyd visits Christy and asks how Kenny is doing. Christy admits that he has been having a hard time since his father's death and is trying hard to be a person that he thinks people need him to be because he is Boyd's deputy and doesn't want to fail Boyd. Boyd admits he hasn't been trying to push him too hard, but Kenny needs to be ready to lead. I try to tell y'all, Kenny is going to be the leader of both Colony House and the town, either season 4 or by the end of the series. Donna's losing her crap. Boyd, he's getting sick. All eyes are on Kenny. It needs to be Kenny leading both areas season 4, maybe even having Acosta as a co-captain. I'm just saying. Christy bluntly tells Boyd that she understands Boyd wants to prepare him for the worst and to be his successor, but at the moment, Kenny is in pain and needs a father, not a sheriff. Boyd realizes that she is right and thanks her as he leaves. Boyd agrees to be Kenny's Fromville daddy.
Oh my God!
He said, "I'll be your Fromville daddy." It just shows that Boyd has a sense of duty and that he has, at this point, no connection to Ellis to even want to consider Ellis to be his successor, to be a deputy, to be anything. Ellis may end up stepping up and being that, maybe season 4, especially the stuff that's happened with Fatima. Ellis may want to be more proactive in the dealings of people to prevent a Fatima situation from happening, or being able to have more power and authority is something that does happen, especially since he has a family now. So Christy eyes the room where Bihan died and shuts the door. Father Khatri still being creepy. He has Sarah bound. At least he took the gag off. In the basement of the church, Father Khatri tells Sarah that people think the Bible is a fixed object. It's supposed to be. Khatri asks how it can be completed when all the players are still on the stage. He then explains that the Bible is composed of 73 books filled with tales of miracle and wonder, as well as darkness and gruesomeness. Khatri admits that since he arrived, he has pondered whether the people of the town are living through the unwritten 74th. So the Catholic Bible has 73, the Protestant one has less than that. And if they were chosen, Sarah asks what they were chosen for, and Khatri admits he does not know. But it is why she needs him to tell him about the voices that she's been hearing. Pseudo Pigrapha. Those are Jewish writings ascribed to various biblical patriarchs and prophets, aka the alleged rejected books of the Bible. All alleged. So Father Khatri, even if you're right, and you all are the 74th book, it will probably be rejected. Probably will be rejected. At the Matthews home, Ethan comes across his mother staring at the bracelet, noticing the flickering lamp nearby, trying to get their attention, or maybe even to nudge Tabitha into a particular direction to get her to a certain point where the previous versions of her always go to, and end up not being able to save the children and losing their life and being reincarnated. Ethan asks her what is causing it to do that. Tabitha says she doesn't know, but says they should have an adventure where they try to figure out where the light comes from. After unplugging the lamp and moving the furniture, Tabitha begins hammering into the wall. Ooh. Tabitha begins hammering into the wall, shocking Ethan. This whole time, when I go to hammer the wall, I get punished. When mom does it, it's cool.
You're damn right.
Yeah, it's craziness. In the forest, Jim climbs the tree with the antenna and asks Jade to shake the wire free as it gets snagged. Please subscribe, click the bell, ding the dong, bing the bong, all that great stuff. Share everywhere, including your YouTube community tab. Please and thank you. And also, if you want to donate, you could donate through Super Thanks. That is located where the subscribe button is. And also, you could donate with Cash App. That is $Spade Parkland. And also, you could join the channel membership by clicking the join button near the subscribe button. I do weekly live streams for channel members. So join that if you want to be a part of the channel member live stream. As Jim continues upward, Jade checks on him, but hallucinates that his hand is covered in blood and that the tree is festooned with dismembered corpses dressed in Civil War uniforms. And their blood is dripping all on him. The symbol is carved into the tree. This hallucination is different than anything else that we've seen in the entire show. Jade turns around and notices a Civil War soldier shot at him, and Jade ran into the forest as the soldier fired. This is Elgin on the left there. After Sarah went slice and dice on his eye, his left eye, this is our right, his left, and this left eye are both missing. They're both missing an eye. I think that this is a fake eye put in. Eye, and then to a certain extent, the same kind of like hair on the side here, same chin. The actor who plays the Civil War soldier is Dylan Bailey. So I think the reason why they didn't get Elgin to play the Civil War soldier is because they wanted to bring in someone who would appear to be like an older version of Elgin in this theory. So in actuality, this is supposed to be an older version of Elgin, younger version of Elgin. They got an actor to play the Civil War soldier who would appear to be older. And I think they didn't really want to get Elgin to do this because they didn't want to actually reveal something. So they got a different actor to play the Civil War soldier. Now, in a previous video, I did say that Dylan Bailey, who plays the Civil War soldier, he also was one of the townspeople who was in front of the diner when Donna and Boyd were talking to the crowd, saying that they don't know what's going on with Tilly. She knows they want answers. They want answers too. She doesn't have any answers. She did that to cover up for Boyd and for Fatima because she likes Fatima. Dylan was out there as one of the people in the crowd. They cast Dylan as one of the crowd's people and as the Civil War soldier. I believe that the voices that Sarah's hearing are the people in town, and they're like hiding in plain sight. The people in town, some of the residents, they're fallen angels and they're trapped in from and they want help to be freed. That this Civil War soldier may have been a fallen angel from the past that's been trapped in town, decided to adapt and blend in and became one of the people in the crowd that we see here. So not trying to rehash the other video, but in the previous video, I pointed out that Dylan played this extra. He's also playing this Union Civil War soldier. And that the voices are some of the people in the town talking to Sarah. And he's been stuck in town either since or before he originally was one of the Civil War people and decided to blend in and just like be like everybody else. So if that is not the case, that they're not the voices in the town hiding in plain sight. So if it comes out that the same actor playing both these roles is not because they're related, then the other theory is that this Civil War soldier is a future version of Elgin. So it's two theories. It depends on the route the show wants to go, the creators want to go. If they go neither route, that's fine. But those are my two theories right there. And that's the reason why we have Dylan playing both this guy and this guy for those dual reasons, for those dual theories. Here's my thinking as far as why it could be Elgin as the Civil War soldier. Not just because of the hair and the eye and the facial structure, because I mean, it does seem kind of odd that Dylan's face resembles Elgin's face. I'm just saying. I mean, I know you might say, well, a lot of people have the same type of face and same type of head. It just seems eerie. You're seeing the same type of you. But anyway, I could be stretching, could be yoga stretch. But here's my thing. Here's my theory as far as why I think Elgin could also be the Civil War soldier. So with Jade's visions, either he hears something like with Jasper yelling at him when he was in the day room of Colony House. And I think that Jasper was yelling at him to get him to not take the Mary Jane that he was going to roll up, so that Jade is level-headed. To prevent Jade from just being drunk is why Fromville, or whatever, had the house collapse on not just Jim, but also Tom. Because Tom, being the bartender, getting everybody drunk, was hindering at least Jade from being on his purpose to get towards an ending where he loses his life, but does something to help the evil side and restarts the cycle. So Tom had to go in addition to Jim. So this is the only time that a vision has actually had something carved in a tree or carved into a structure and tried to be hostile towards Jade. This Civil War soldier was not trying to tell Jade anything, wasn't trying to yell at him to wake him up or anything. This Civil War soldier was trying to attack Jade. This is not even a vision. This is most of the time Jade's visions are previous versions of himself, such as the Confederate soldier underneath the boulder. I think that was a previous version of Jade, but I don't think that this is a previous version of Jade. This is something else. And I think that when Elgin story walks, he gains abilities to be able to interact with different environments using the symbol, putting it on the tree, and then having blood go on the symbol. He may get into occultism when he gets stuck in the past. So how does he get stuck in the past? Fatima did not want to forgive Sarah. And this is season 2, episode 6. When talking to Ellis, Fatima finds out that Sarah's alive, and Fatima says that Sarah should have went into the box. Fatima also said that she herself should go into the box for taking out Tilly. So Fatima is all about accountability. She's going to be the same way with Elgin, who kidnapped her and kept her in the root cellar and prevented her from being with her family. Fatima will blame and hate herself for taking out Tilly and giving birth to a pod. In my theory, she will take her frustration, depression, anger, and guilt out on Elgin, and she and Ellis will bully Elgin the same way Ellis bullied Dale before Dale stabbed Ellis. Elgin is not going to be able to stay in Colony House where he's been staying. So he's going to be kicked out of Colony House. People are going to shun him like they did Sarah, but he's not going to want to hang around Sarah because Sarah's moved back into her former house at the end of season 3. He's not going to want to be around Sarah because of what Sarah did to him. He's more than likely going to be told to go out into the shack where Fatima was at with a talisman stone. He's on his own because I doubt that they're going to put him in the box. Elgin's going to say that he cares for both Fatima and Ellis because Elgin was the one who drove Ellis to the infirmary after he got stabbed. And he's going to say that he hid Fatima because she took out Tilly. Fatima and Ellis are not going to care. Well, the only person who's going to be friends with Elgin is going to be Julie. Remember, he and Julie were playing dress up. They had the whole camera thing going on. She's going to be the only one who's going to be cool with him to go out and actually see him and sympathize with him and continue on with that friendship. Elgin will explain that the kimono woman told him if he didn't help her, everyone was going to pass away. When Elgin first arrived in the town, he had that seizure. He had the seizure the same time that Matthew's house had collapsed. So in my theory, he's going to tell Julie that when he had the seizure that happened the same time as the house collapsing, the seismic attack that hit the house, he could feel, which caused the seizure. He's going to say that he had a vision of seeing Julie being able to travel to places, but he didn't understand. And so in this theory, Julie will reveal she can story walk. He will take Julie to the root cellar and be talking to her and stuff. And I think that He is going to story walk. Okay, just walk with me with this. Walk with me on this. He's going to story walk. He's going to story walk into the Civil War era, but he does not come back. She causes him to story walk. He doesn't story walk on his own. It's almost like her ability is going to advance where she can push people into story walking, but she has to learn how to bring them back as well. While he's in the Civil War era of Fromville, he puts on a Union soldier's uniform to blend in and attacks Jade at the tree. But it won't be Jade that he sees. It's going to be a former version of Jade. So Elgin's not going to recognize him, and Elgin's going to learn that he can perhaps open up doors to get back home by doing occultist stuff. And that's the reason why the bodies were hanging from the tree, bleeding onto the symbol that he carved into the tree. Whereas he's focused on trying to get back. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section your thoughts. Thumbs up the video, share to your social media, subscribe, click the notification bell. Thanks for watching. Go forth, do great things, and I'm out. Peace.